The top 11 most shocking moments between fighters in the UFC and WWE. The UFC and WWE entrants have surely entertained us big time. At the same time, they've also given us some shocking moments that took us an extra sense to process what just happened. Hey everybody, welcome to the top 11. In today's video, we present you the 11 most shocking moments between fighters in the UFC and WWE. Make sure to watch until number 1 because it's one of the most shocking moments in the UFC and WWE I've ever seen. So come on now, let's kick start. Number 11. The controversial win of Lopez over Loma. Loma had to literally fight dirty to make the tables turn in his favor, but alas, according to the judges' scoreboards, it was too late by then, as Lopez had done enough damage to the opponent in the early rounds. Teofimo Lopez defeated Vasily Lomachenko to become out as the undisputed lightweight champion. But the scoring of the unanimous decision by the judges raised controversies in the air. In the very beginning of the fight, Lopez asserted his control until the half, only after which Loma started to pay back fiercely. October 17 scoreboards were 116 to 112, 117 to 111, and 119 to 109 by the three judges, with Judge Julia Letterman responsible for the final score. Besides, one of the judges scored 11 rounds in favor of Lopez, which had already raised brows, and to make things worse, Loma in fact finished strong in the 12th round. So this has pretty much left the virtual spectators in shock, wondering if the panel of judges have indeed shown favoritism. Number 10. JOAQUIN Buckley's viral knockout. The 26-year-old Buckley smacked KHAMZAT straight down just with a sterling spin-back thrust kick, ending the fight just 2 minutes into the second round. Oh my. Yes, that did happen on the UFC Fight Night. He finished Impa Kasaneh in style in their UFC fight with the single most spectacular knockout of the year. This undoubtedly has got to be the best knockout of 2020 so far. Buckley ever since the night has found his way into almost every single MMA highlight reel, but he has high-strung aspirations and being known for one physics-defying kick. So now, this has brought unrest amidst the fans who can't wait to see him hit the ring. Number 9. Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie. Woof! That was one dog-eat-dog kind of brawl out there at the UFC Fight Night. The tactical striking battle that was dominated by Ortega was a treat to the eyes. Ortega's rust from keeping him out of the UFC octagon for nearly 2 years had clearly taken its time on the sidelines to learn and grow as a fighter that he is today. His movement and timing never allowed the Korean Zombie to land the patented heavy strikes. In the end, though, the fight went 5 rounds, and surprisingly, it was T-City largely outclassed the Zombie on his feet, something none really saw coming. At the end of the day, there is no disputing that T-City was the biggest winner from UFC Fight Island 6. Number 8. The rising star KHAMZAT CHIMAEV. The rising young throb obtained the record of the quickest turnaround in UFC history this summer as he secured 2 wins in just 10 days. KHAMZAT of Czechia celebrated after his TKO victory over Rhys McKee of Northern Ireland in their welterweight fight during the UFC Fight Night Event Island Flash Forum on UFC Fight Island, in what has to be considered one of the most shocking moments in recent UFC history. The 26-year-old knocked out his opponent within the first 17 seconds of round 1. One punch, and it was all blurred then. And that was one of the quickest knockouts in the history of welterweight. Number 7. The notorious DANIS. The fight between Conor McGregor and KHABIB Nurmagomedov was one of the biggest fights in the chronicle records of UFC. In a heat of trash talk that crossed all limits where family, religion, and friends were all dragged in, it boiled the blood up to call a notorious fight. Soon after, KHABIB leaped out of the octagon and went straight for DANIS. Seeing this as an appropriate opportunity, a few members from the Eagles camp crashed their way into the cage and assaulted the unaware Conor. It was one of the crazy events MMA fans had witnessed. Number 6. The GODY Goldberg. The WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg was in his fierce zest once again by shattering the reign of terror of the so-called The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. In an unexpected turn of events, Goldberg astounded the world to become the new WWE Universal Champion. No one really imagined he would come to such a degree in the time of his career span. It was an eye-popping moment for everyone as Goldberg ended Wyatt's undefeated streak with a botched jackhammer. It seemed like The Fiend hadn't been able to fully recover from the crushing defeat he suffered at the hands of Goldberg. Number 5. AJ Styles returns in style. WWE Raw saw Styles returning for the first time since the burial in WrestleMania. punching his ticket to the Money in the Bank ladder match. The starting comeback of AJ Styles was the story coming out of the match as he returned for the first time since being buried by The Undertaker in the Boneyard match at WrestleMania. Styles was able to take out Corillo, who had already wrestled 3 men and was waiting to confront the thirsty Styles. AJ later admitted that he had been buried by The Undertaker, but now has brushed that off to make through this. He had to stride a long way before he came up to this after the legendary burial. Number 4, Otis becomes Mr. Money. AJ Styles, Aleister Black, and Baron Corbin were favorites to win the men's briefcase. Otis seemingly didn't have any chance to become Mr. Money in the Bank against these superstars. His comedic gimmick connects with the WWE universe, but it was uncertain if WWE could present him as a world champion contender. WWE had other plans in store for us as Otis turned the tables on everybody. Then he grabbed the briefcase that slipped through Styles' hands to become the 2020 Money in the Bank winner. This was a career-defining moment for the young WWE superstar. What's more surprising is that he did so without even climbing the ladder. The audience were just brimming with utter shock. Number 3, Alexa Bliss's disguise. Braun Strowman was involved in a rivalry with his former mentor Bray Wyatt. The two superstars collided at WWE Money in the Bank, where Braun tricked his former master to retain the title. However, Wyatt wasn't done with Braun. He brought back his cult personal and forced Braun to accept his challenge and entered a bizarre universe. Strowman showed his hulky strength in the match, but wasn't able to overcome. He even got bitten by a snake, which was carried by a strange veiled woman. This was apparently Alexa Bliss, to everyone's astonishment, dressed up as Sister Abigail. Alexa's disguise left Strowman unsettled and helped Wyatt win one of the most outlandish and bizarre WWE main events of all time. Number 2, Edge comeback to WWE. The biggest reason why the 2020 Royal Rumble match will be remembered for years is the return of the rated R superstar Edge. Edge's retirement brought tears to the eyes of the WWE universe, and so is his return marked by tears. But for this time, it's merry tears. It was a very emotional moment for all to see Edge compete in a WWE ring after almost a decade. He was living his dream once again. He unexpectedly entered the Royal Rumble as entrant number 21. The arena exploded with cheers when they heard the words, "You think you know me?" This miraculous return is one that will go down in history for sure. Number 1, Roman Reigns is once again reigning. Roman Reigns is one of the most notable names that was absent from WWE during the pandemic era. In April, the Big Dog pulled out of his WrestleMania with Goldberg. Then the Big Dog went on to hunt down The Fiend. Roman stood tall over Bray Wyatt with the Universal Championship as SummerSlam went off air. This was one of the most hair-raising incidents in recent history, reported the Morning Combat. This new Roman Reigns was better than ever, and within a week of his return, he went on to win the WWE Universal Championship. Reigns is expected to have a long reign as champion with his relentless hunger for triumph. With that, we've come to the end of today's video. I must say, those were some of the amazing incidents that took place in the arena of the UFC and WWE. These moments shall remain etched in our minds forever. Please subscribe to the Top 11 YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our amazing videos. Check out this playlist of my personal favorite videos on this channel about some really crazy and interesting clips of the best Top 11 videos on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.